You're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So, congratulations to Andre Ward. He pitches a shutout over Alexander Brand. He was showing Alexander Brand a whole bunch of different looks. Andre Ward was going back and forth from righty to lefty. Man, just when people thought that Terrence Crawford was the only one that could do it, Andre Ward, he showed that he could do it as well. And he was very effective when he switched to lefty. It was interesting because Alexander Brand, he kept trying to go into a Floyd Mayweather shoulder roll stance, and every time he did that, Andre Ward would blast him with either lead right hands or lead left hands from a southpaw position. So anyway, I already did my post-fight video, so let's talk about Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev finally meeting each other face to face. I mean, now don't get me wrong, I know they actually met before off camera, but this is the first time we got to see them damn near face to face, only a couple feet away, standing next to each other in the ring. So looking at Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev inside the ring, looking at each other, my first impressions and interpretation of the body language when it comes to Sergey Kovalev is he really has a lot of respect for Andre Ward's skill set. He really respects his skill set, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're about to go up against the best fighter you've ever fought in your career, so you better go in there respecting this man. That goes for Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward. Now, when it comes to Andre Ward, we really don't know if Sergey Kovalev is the best opponent he's ever faced, because Andre Ward, he's been in there with pound-for-pound undefeated fighters like Carl Froch, who was considered pound-for-pound top 5 at the time that he faced Andre Ward. Ward has been in there with Miguel Kessler, who was top 10, pound-for-pound, one of the best fighters in the world. Chad Dawson was top 10, pound-for-pound, best fighter in the world. And now he's about to fight his 4th pound-for-pound top 10 opponent. Okay, so I told you what I thought about Sergey Kovalev's body language. When it comes to Andre Ward, his body language, well, maybe I should say this. What he said suggested he has a lot of respect for Sergey Kovalev. I like what Andre Ward said. He said, you know what, Kovalev, he deserves more credit. He's one of the rare fighters that's not overhyped. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said. He's not overhyped. He's not someone that the networks just build up. I believe he did say that. He said this guy has always been willing to fight the best. He hasn't ducked or dodged anyone, so he deserves more credit. So what Andre said suggested he had a lot of respect for Sergey Kovalev. But when it comes to Andre Ward's body language, to me, Andre Ward, he has the type of temperament of these young kids that you see at these national tournaments. For those of you guys who've never been at one of these national tournaments, there are some kids that just have this determination, like, you know, winning this silver gloves, winning the national junior Olympics, winning this tournament means everything. There's nothing more important to me. So to me, Andre Ward, he looked at him and he had this type of look to where, man, right now, I respect you, but you're my enemy because you have what I want, and I plan on taking it from you. That was my interpretation of how Andre Ward was looking at Sergey Kovalev. I noticed it was Sergey Kovalev that initiated the handshake twice, which is why I believe they both have a lot of respect for each other, but I believe Sergey Kovalev, he respects Andre Ward just a little bit more, because I believe that even Kovalev, he agrees with my assessment when I say that he knows, hands down, this is the best fighter that he has ever faced in his entire career. And skill recognizes skill, okay? Sergey Kovalev is looking at the little slick things that Andre Ward is doing, and he is really impressed with a lot of those things. And Sergey is saying to himself, man, I have to be flawless to win a fight against a guy on this level. In fact, I thought it was interesting what Kovalev actually had to say when he was standing next to Andre Ward, because Max Kellerman, he brought up an interesting point. He said, Sergey, after your performance against Chilemba, a lot of people think because that wasn't your best performance, that Andre Ward has a better chance of beating you. And the way Sergey Kovalev responded to the question was kind of interesting, because Sergey Kovalev, once again, is a very honest person when he speaks. And he said he believes the Kovalev versus Ward fight will look a lot like the Chilemba fight. And like I just said in my last post-fight video, that's not a good sign for Kovalev fans. Because we all know that even though Chilemba, he may have a little bit of intelligence, IQ, and rhythm, and a good jab, he may have some decent defense, but just because he has these type of components does not make him Andre Ward. So, once again, that's not a good sign for Kovalev fans going into this fight, because like I just said before, Andre Ward, unlike Chilemba, by the way, Chilemba did not have an inside game. Andre Ward does. And I'm going to tell you guys something right now. Don't be surprised if you see some knockdowns in a Kovalev versus Ward fight. Because unlike Alexander Brand, who we just seen fight against Andre Ward tonight, Kovalev is not going to be fighting a defensive type of fight. Now, don't get me wrong, because Kovalev, he definitely showed some reluctance in the Chilemba fight. But I don't believe he's going to be that reluctant against Andre Ward, because Andre Ward is going to push Kovalev, and Kovalev is going to push Andre Ward. Because of that, I expect to see some knockdowns in this fight. Now, I don't believe that anyone will get knocked out, but that's pretty hard to predict. But I do believe that someone is going to get hurt badly in this fight, and someone is going to most likely get knocked down. So I look forward to this fight, guys. And unfortunately, this is a real sad time for the decafs, because the decafs, they are going to have to concede and acknowledge that whoever wins this fight is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. I truly believe when it comes to these emotionally attached fans, they are clinging on to this mythical consensus subjective type of pound for pound champion right now. But after November, after Ward and Kovalev face off, there's no doubt about it, the pound for pound best fighter in the world will be crowned that night. And since I'm favoring Ward to win that fight, and I believe even the decafs, even the people, even the racists, even the most racist fans that hate Andre Ward, I feel deep down they even feel that Andre Ward is going to win this fight. Because if you look at the history of the sport, one thing you will notice, and this is real talk right here, we could look up the stats. At least 8 times out of 10 on this level right here, the American slick style fighter normally gets the win. Once again, you guys can go back and check the stats. And I'll leave it at that. Can't wait to see the fight. I'll close with saying this. It is very unfortunate that today in the sport of boxing, it is very rare that you get pound for pound number 1 going up against pound for pound number 3, or whatever the case may be. You have to give Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev an enormous amount of credit for being willing to prove that they are the best no matter who they have to go through. Sergey Kovalev, who I told you guys was a very honest person, he even said, I don't even know if I can beat Andre Ward. But he's still willing to fight against a guy that he's not even sure that he can beat. That is what elevates the sport of boxing. Seeing more fighters like Kovalev and Andre Ward. That's pretty much all I got for now. I'm on to the next one.